Ravens-Steelers game has been postponed. It will kick off Wednesday. The Steelers and Ravens are still waiting to hear an official time as to when the game will be played, but this will allow more testing to be done in Baltimore and hopefully have more tests come back negative that would enable the Ravens to go out either tomorrow or Wednesday morning into Pittsburgh to play that game Wednesday, which was supposed to be played on Thanksgiving night on Thursday, which was moved to Sunday, which was moved to Tuesday, and is now being moved to Wednesday. So actually it's the fourth postponement. That game has led to a shift in schedules for Week 13 as well, with the Steelers-Washington game scheduled for Sunday now being moved to Monday, where there'll be a triple header involving the Ravens and Cowboys that was supposed to be on Thursday that was moved to Monday, and the Washington Steelers game, and our Monday night game next week, which is the 49ers and the Bills, after the 49ers have to go to Arizona. There's the schedule there.
That's what we need, Adam. A lot of moving parts. We need a graphic.
So do you got all those changes? Everything is upside down. It's hard to keep track of everything, but there it is right now, where we're at this particular point in time. Ravens Steelers Wednesday, Cowboys Ravens Monday, Washington Steelers Monday, Bills at 49ers in Arizona on Monday as well.
And Adam, let's just be clear about something, because I think a lot of people are confused why some games get moved and some games don't. The NFL sent out a memo before the season even started, correct? That talked about you're not going to move a game for strategic purposes. You're only going to for safety purposes.
Susie, it is all about identification, isolation, and then containment of the virus. And as long as the NFL feels like it has identified, isolated, and contained the virus, then at that point in time, it believes it can play the games. If that is not the case, if it can't identify and it can't isolate and it can't contain, as was the case in Baltimore, they're going to continue to postpone that game. That's why the Broncos-Saints game on Sunday was played, because the league believed that the virus was identified, isolated, and contained in Denver, whereas it wasn't in Baltimore, and that's why that game keeps shifting, and that's what will be the case as COVID cases spike across the country and across the NFL.
You know, I think that's a good point, because a lot of people have been talking about the Bronco game shouldn't have been played because they had no quarterbacks. It's not about competitive balance. It's about safety.
Yes.
The NFL, the NFLPA, they've been doing an outstanding job. And so I want everyone to understand that they're doing everything in the name of health and safety, which they should.
You know, when I look at the Baltimore Ravens-Pittsburgh game, as a player being in the locker room, I'm just kind of concerned about their mental state of what they've been through in the last week and a half. You think about, Boog, your first primetime game. Now it's moved from Monday to Tuesday, like Adam just alluded to. So I think just going forward with guys being safe and staying safe, I'm just more concerned about their mental state.
Yeah.
Steve, what do you think? There's going to be some competitive advantage, right? You're just going to have to deal.
But why can't we be athletic about it? Is the schedule, Adam, maybe is the schedule that sacrosanct that you can't expand it and make sure that the games get played with the full measure of all the guys that are. No one wants to watch the Baltimore Ravens play without Lamar Jackson. Nobody wants to watch the Denver Broncos play without a quarterback. I mean, I understand safety. I get all that. And that's their North Star, and that makes a lot of sense. And it says at the beginning of the season, if you're, it's the COVID year. And if you obey the protocols and you're healthy and safe, you're going to get the benefit and advantage for the teams that aren't. I get that. But why do we have to be so careful about the schedule and not be able to expand it to make sure these games are played with the full measure of especially the playoff teams that have playoff implications? It seems like the season could devolve from a competitive standpoint if people can look back and go, hey, look, the Ravens played without Lamar Jackson. It's not fair. It seems like they could just cancel a game. Just cancel it.
Steve, listen,
in Week 18.
Listen, there are people who have said to me, I've heard coaches say that the integrity of the game is compromised when the Broncos have to trot out a practice squad wide receiver
100%.
to play quarterback. But the league would say, okay, as much as we're interested in that, what trumps that in this year, in this season, are the protocols that we have in place and the safety of the players. And they can't make allowances all the time.
Just cancel it and expand the season. Just play another week. Who cares?
But again, the league has been on a path, and I think it's very evident. We are 12 weeks into the season. The NFL hasn't canceled a single game, Steve. Guess what?
Amazing.
Schools across the country canceled. Restaurants closed. Schedules shifted. Everything has changed. You know what's gone on? The NFL has gone on. The show goes on. And if you don't think that the league is determined to plow through this season and play all these games and cash in on all this TV revenue, then you're not paying attention.
All right, that's clear.
The TV revenue for me, play an extra week. They could stay on. They could stay on through March. You know, people will watch.
They want this schedule played. They want to have the ultimate flexibility if they need it later on. They only want to do that as a last resort. And right now, they are not ready to go to that last resort at this point in time.
Well, the playoff implication game between the Ravens and the Steelers, in my mind, is a game without Lamar Jackson, needs to be canceled. You cannot play that game without Lamar Jackson. And that, to me,
Well,
that's
Steve, you can say that.
get
Steve,
it to the next.